2026, Happy New Year to all Ghanaians who have been with us throughout the journey when it started somewhere in September 2025. The 2025-26 Ghana Premier League has been magical, it's been adventurous and very entertaining. And we are continuing in 2026. It's a good one, a big one, and we are looking forward to more entertainment from this league here. It's the GPLBuild up show here on TV3. My name is Mutala Yakubu. And the first round of the Ghana Premier League is done and dusted. 17 weeks it lasted, and we are looking forward to the other 17 weeks where we'll crown one team champion and 3 others would fall and go to the Division 1. Today I've been joined by 3 fantastic gentlemen. Resident analyst Mohammed Shaban is here, and he's already on the screens, and he will be doing his thing there in terms of numbers. Also, I've been joined by data analyst Felix Romack, and we have a special guest, a big man in our midst. He's the coach of the Black Galaxies. That is the local Black Star team, Kasim Mingo. He has been in the Ghana Premier League, and mind you, there's a little fact. This year's Ghana Premier League actually saw Kasim Mingo coaching the team before he departed to take on the national team job. Today, he is also here with us, and it's going to be a very interesting conversation. But before we delve into all that, Matchday 17 produced some amazing results because we saw Suedo All Blacks beating Asante Kotoko, and that game in Takwa also saw Mediema defeating Hearts of Oak.
Dominant side, the more dominant team, creating opportunities and carrying the ball a lot more.
Into the box now, Salim with a chance, Salim! Powerful strike!
Highly composed, look at that, waited, bit his time, the cutback beautifully controlled by Salim. He picked
So there you have it. Lots of goals were scored in Matchday 17. Rudolph, just a few weeks ago, Asante Kotoko wrote to Suedo Blacks that they wanted him. Maybe that was a way of responding and telling Kotoko that, yet, I'm indeed the man that you needed. He scored one of the goals as they beat Asante Kotoko by 2-1. And Salim Adams, a former Hearts of Oak midfielder, also haunting his former club by scoring the only goal for them. So Matchday 17 done and dusted. Mediema are currently on top of the league table. Let me come to my gentleman. Coach, we'll talk about Black Galaxies, we'll talk about the league proper, because you are like the, should I say, the chief of staff of coaches as far as the Ghana Premier League is concerned. But Felix, 17 matches, first round done. Have you been impressed with what you've seen?
Very, very impressive. You know, if you look at the league table and the teams that are fighting for the title, it's quite impressive. We have almost about 5 former league winners trying to fight for a place in history and win the title. So it's been quite good. And quite surprising as well. If you look at some of the teams that are bottom of the log, you look at Brecum Chelsea, you know, some few years ago, they had a coach who had won the league. Hoho United had a very excellent season in Division 1 Zone 3, and you thought they could come into the league and fight it up. They started quite well. Bichim United, Kasim Mingo's former team, you know, struggling as well. So it's been a very, very, you know, competitive season. But if you look at the top spots, even from the team that is fourth on the league log and the team that is, you know, 13th, it's just 9 points, meaning 3 games. So it's quite good. Over 288 goals scored. I look at the stats and I clearly don't understand why teams are. Maybe coach would have an idea, because if you look at the 45th minute to the 60th minute, out of the 288 goals, 61 goals have been, you know, conceded around that time. I don't know if teams come out from the dressing room in the second half and they lack concentration or try to adjust their system, but a lot of the goals have been conceded within that, you know, within the early start of the second half. So I don't really know why, but I'm hoping that going into the second round, teams would try as much as possible to work on that.
Of course, and we'll see what happens. But I have been super excited having you, Coach Kasim or Kansi Mingo, because you have played a double role. You've coached in the Ghana Premier League this season, and you are now the head coach of the Black Galaxies. Your job has even become more bigger because you have to monitor every player in the Ghana Premier League. 17 matches done. You started with Nations FC before departing to take on the national team job. What is your general assessment of the first round?
Oh, let's say it's very competitive. You could watch from the table, from the top 6, look at the points difference between them. And from the middle downwards, everybody is not safe. Any of them can join the relegation zone. So I was very competitive. My colleague was saying when it gets to the second half, they've been conceding goals around that time. No, when you coaching a team and getting to the latter stages of the league, you have to reduce the load, the intensity of the training, because fatigue will set in. So when you go to training, you don't need to be loading them. But when they play 60 minutes, they will get tired on their field. That's why they've been conceding.
Okay, all right. So it's a good one. But recently, we saw you assemble a group of players from our local league to play against South Africa. We debated on social media. I don't know, Coach Kasim, one far away. Was it that difficult selecting this bunch of players with the quality that you've seen in the Ghana Premier League? Cosmic KB, I said you didn't pick the right players.
You know, when picking players for such a game, you should base on current form. You shouldn't select players who had made their name last season or so.
Okay.
It was current form that I used to select that players. And the position, the role I will assign them to play. No matter when you're going to play in a system, the materials available to you that you employ that system. So I know this, how I'm going to arrange my players on it. This is the type of player who can do the job for me. That's why I selected those players.
You understand pressure. Most of these players did not understand pressure. They've not played at that level before. What was the team talk like throughout the week? And even when you got to South Africa, coming out, the national anthem, the stadium full. What did you tell the boys? Because everyone was impressed by their performance, though we lost. Okay,
when we got there, first thing, our video analyst, I asked him to bring me some highlights of final matches they play. And he gave me Nigeria, Zimbabwe, and Rwanda. So after going through, I said, no, this is how they play. They start their build-up, the 2 central defenders and the goalkeeper. So they play among them. And when you give them the high pressing, then they give the penetrative passes to the midfielders in the middle. And their wingers are very fast. They will drag you back, and you follow them to the center line, and they put the ball behind you. Then they go fast, and they set it back, and they finish it. So when we got there, I told them, look, we've got antidote to what they are playing. So I'm sure you, when you be tactically disciplined, they cannot beat us. I put that confidence in them that we find antidote to that tactics. So we went to training, and we put that in the training. This is the role you should play. It's a system. It's a role that assigns everybody to play. Forget about whatever they will do in their 18. Leave them and not just be giving some little bit pressure them. And let's block the middle so that they cannot give penetrative pass. When the wingers come, the fullback don't follow them. Leave them. Immediately you get the center line, the other, stay there and wait for them. So that when they put the ball behind you, you'll be closer to the ball than me. That's exactly what they did. And I told them they cannot beat you if only you follow the instructions given to you.
It was through a mistake, a loss of concentration that.
No, the player who had the ball wanted to pass the ball to the right fullback and he slept.
Yeah.
It rained in the morning over there. That's why that took advantage and he shot.
But how important is this exercise, or was this exercise for these boys, especially who play locally?
It has given them the exposure and confidence that when the CHAN competition comes, they can play easily and qualify. They've seen, previously they were, hey, Bafana, they are going to AFCON and World Cup. But I told them, look, they are like you people. The antidote we found, if you go to play like they cannot score us. So they were having the confidence, and coach said, if we play according to how we train, they cannot score us.
But would you say this is an evidence of how good the Ghana Premier League is? Just that the organization is what we need to improve, because many are saying that there isn't much vast difference between what we play, the quality football we play, and that of South Africa and other leagues. But maybe the organization is where we need to improve.
Oh, I don't know what to say about it. Ghana League is not bad. It's not bad. You see, especially Ghana, we have a lot of problems. Our teams doesn't have juvenile teams.
Oh, okay.
So when coaching a premier team, and you say you're going strictly according to a tactical play, you need the 3 points, you cannot succeed. You have to add the development to it. Most of the players playing the premier, they don't have the basic techniques. So
that is a big problem.
Very big problem. So you have to develop it there and add it to your tactical play. Otherwise, you cannot succeed.
So you're always trying to develop players instead of just them adapting to your tactics and going out there.
Other countries, they have juvenile teams. They're juvenile from 15, 17, 20. So
that is where we develop the players.
Develop the players. So when you come to the senior team, they are not going to teach you anything. The coach is going to tell you, this is how assign every individual player, the role to play on the field of play. And this is the system, this is the role individual to finish.
Coach, finally on the Black Galaxies, before we turn our attention back to the Premier League, with what we've seen so far under your tenure, should we be hopeful as Ghanaians that we'll return back to the CHAN stage?
That's what all of us are hoping for. So God willing, we will be there.
Well, that is Coach Kasim Kansimingo here with us, the head coach of the Black Galaxies. We will delve more into what will be happening with the Ghana Premier League. This weekend, Matchday 18, that starts the second round, and the fixtures are in. Shaban, if we can go through them one after the other. We know that 11 Wonders, they would be taking on Baseke Holy Stars tomorrow at the University of Ghana Stadium at 3:30. It will be live on TV3 and on Onuya TV. Then on Saturday, Heart of Folk will return to the South. This time they are going to Hohoi to face Hohoi United, who themselves have parted ways with Tijani Bashiru after that goalless draw with Heart of Lions. That game is also live on TV3 and Onuya TV at 3:30 on Saturday. Then Asante Kotoko, also they tasted defeat in Matchday 17. They are back. This time they are facing Brekum Chelsea, who they defeated in Matchday 1, and it's live on TV3 and on Onuya TV as well on Sunday at 3:30. Other games will see Adriana engage Karela. Mediema, they would be at home as they take on the Young Apostles, and we'll be looking at solidifying their position on top of the Ghana Premier League. Bechem United, they would also face BBA Gold Stars, with Dreams FC engaging Heart of Lions. All Blacks, they are in good spirit. They take on Kasim Mingo's former team Nations FC, and FC Samatex would also come up against Vision FC. Let's start from the top. 11 Wonders, Baseke Holy Stars. Felix Romac, it looks like 11 Wonders will have to win the entire second round. They have to win all the 17 games if they want to survive. They're coming up against a rejuvenated Baseke Holy Stars. Ever since Johnson Smith got there, they've been a different team altogether.
They've been, I think, quite impressive. If you had said a few weeks ago, would they be able to beat Kumasi Asante Kotoko? I don't think so, but they defeated Kotoko, got a point against Mediama at the TNA Park, went to Doma, got a point against, Adriana Stars in Doma. It's been quite an impressive, form for them since Johnson Smith came in, a coach who has really worked with Kasim Mingo before. So the experience is telling the way they are playing. For 11 Wonders, I think that they are already gone. Mutala, if you look at the Premier League for the past 5 seasons, the magic number for you to survive is between 40, 41, 42 points. But I doubt with their current form, I doubt if they will be able to pick up the number, because you can't pick 6 points. If we should go by the 17 they've played, it means that they are getting another 6 in the next 17, which is 12 points. And I feel that the reason why they are struggling, one of the main reasons is the fact that they don't have a traditional home. And these are some of the things that would take you back to where you came from, the lower division. And we've seen teams like Achim Kotoku Royals. They came into the league, they weren't playing in Achim, they got relegated. A minute they were playing in Cape Coast, came to Accra, went to University of Ghana. So if you don't have a stable home, you struggle. And even with Dreams FC, at a point they were doing the same. And even with Kpando out of Lions until Bashir Ford came in and then they got club licensing approval to play in Kpando. They were playing in Hohoi, playing in Sugakofe. So it will be very difficult for them to win this game and to even survive. But that is why it is also important that we look at the credibility of the league, because at this particular point, what is the state of the mind of the players? Because I went to Legon to watch them play, and they didn't even warm up for a game. As the home team, they weren't there to warm up. So it is important that the FA also make sure that the integrity of the league is at stake with the way they play.
Okay, I'll bring in Shaban and talk about history as far as teams that finished the first round with 6 points are concerned. But coach, I mean, they've used 3 different managers throughout the season. They started with Odati Lamte, then J.E. Sapon came in, Emmanuel Edu has come in. As a coach, is this one of the jobs that you describe as an impossible mission?
Even if they bring Alex Ferguson, they cannot survive.
Oh, you are speaking like J.E. Sapon. This is the same thing J.E. Sapon said.
Yeah, the administrative is poor. It's not technical matter. The problem is not about technical. A lot of things, I don't want to go there.
That is what Emmanuel Edu told me, that it's not about the players not being good enough.
They have a good players. I've been watching them. You know, I've been going around watching.
Especially their
even
captain,
tomorrow, I'll go and watch their man.
Okay.
You see, it's not about technical. It's about administrative.
And it can affect anything.
Anything. I want to play with empty stomach. What will happen? When they tell you they don't know.
Shaban, after 17 games, 6 points, 3 different managers, if you share the points, it means that everyone got 2.2 points.
And how many venues?
Several venues. They started with Swedro. They played at Tuba before.
They played at
University of Ghana. Yeah, now to the University of Ghana Sports Stadium. Does it look like they are going down?
Well, so per mathematics, let's do the calculation here, Mutala. They have 6 points. In the second round, it's a total of 51 points. They will be playing 24 points at home. Now, let's add the 24 points to the 6. That will be. We have given them all the home leagues. That is going to be 30 points for them. Now, with 30 points, you can still survive. You know why? The 17th and the 16th place have 18 points, plus additional 18. Let's say they are also struggling in the second round. Even if you add plus 18, it will be more than the total points that they will have. And so still they will need additional points. Let's give them plus of 2 away wins, and that will be 36 points. They still cannot survive because per the total points amassed by Basake Stars, they have 20 points, but they are still battling relegation. Basake would need 25 points more in the second round. That will be 45 points. And so we are going to have more than 41 points of survival. Instead, last season, let me show you some statistics to back you up with the analysis we are doing in terms of the total points amassed and the points you need to survive. Now, last season, this was how the bottom place position looked like in the first round.
After the first round.
This is 14, 14, 13. It means that you would need to add about 20 points. That would be 41, 40. So the number of points amassed by the bottom place teams in the first round determines the total points you would need to survive at the end of the season. And
even Accra Lions had 13 points after the first round.
And then they were relegated. And look at the teams that were relegated. That's 13, 14. They were all relegated. Now you have 6 of the points. It means that you have to work extra than Accra Lions. Again, if you look at the 15th, 14, 13, that is 16, 18, 18. But here the 18 is reflecting even at the bottom. It means that here you have to still work extra than what you have to do last season to survive in the league, and which is impossible. So in the second round, we have given them the 24 points, 30.
You and who have given them the points?
To do the mathematics. And still cannot survive.
So what that was Mo is saying, we shouldn't also forget the fact that per the start in March, we had Insuatreman who had left the league, and points were freely given out to some of the teams. You understand? So if he's giving out free points,
Yeah,
let's say
when they pulled out of the league.
Yes,
yeah.
some teams were playing and getting free points. So it's going to be very difficult.
11 Wonders, they will be coming up against Baseke Holy Stars. That game would be tomorrow at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium. 3:30 is the kickoff time, and we'll bring you that game live on this channel as well as Onuya TV. But on Saturday, Heartofok would also make a trip to Hoho United. Coach, first of all, what do you think Masu Didi Dramani has done to this Heartofok team? A lot of people have been impressed by their play this season.
Oh, no, he's a very good coach, and he has transformed the team. Where he came to meet the team, he has transformed the team now. You know, it wasn't like this for them before he joined Heartofok. And they are not doing bad.
Yeah. Now, usually, what is the talk like? Or, like, what are the conversations if you want to get the players to play this way? Because literally, it's almost the same players that we saw some time back last season.
Same players, different training that you've been giving them. You know, you come and identify the problem of the team. When you get in for the first thing you have to know, identify the problem of the team. Identify that you set your training program to work on it.
Well, let's see. Also, Hoho United, they've parted ways with Bashiru Tijani. Do you think sometimes our Premier League clubs are in a haste to get rid of managers if the results are not going well?
At times, it happens. At times, too, maybe, I won't say the fault of the coach. At times, you should watch the quality of the players you have and then your administration. Your structures, some of their structures are not good at all.
The structures?
Yes, of the team. It affects the team performances. If the owner of the club is not there, nothing works.
Okay.
You see?
Yeah.
So it's not a coaching.
So Tijani Bashiru is gone, but Heartofok after that defeat against Mediema are back. Felix Romack, your team traveling to Hohoe. Matchday 1, I witnessed Heartofok Hohoe. The Accra. I was with you then on the pitch side. They drew goalless. Do you think that Heartofok can bounce back to winning ways against the Hohoe United side, who also needed 3 points badly? They've already beaten Kotoko in Hohoe.
I think for Heartofok this season, if you have to analyze their performance, both home and away, if you had an away league table, they will be second on the league log. So it tells you that the performances away have been very, very good. For Hohoe United, they're under so much pressure. In recent times, they are not performing. And for a team that went 2 years and losing only a game when they were in the Division 1 league, they've come into the Premier League. It hasn't been easy for them. Heartofok major problem in this league this season has to be goal scoring. And it's so bad that if you look at the other title contenders, they are scoring a lot of goals. You need to keep clean sheets. Clean sheets sometimes define your title adventure, but you also need to score goals to win games. And that is what Heartofok is not achieving. And they have their own legal issues in the transfer market. And that also becomes a bit difficult for the coach, because I feel Heartofok need an attacker who can score goals for them, and they don't have it. They can keep a clean sheet. They have 2 fantastic goalkeepers, have a very good midfield, a good defense, and they are keeping a lot of clean sheets. But scoring goals has been their major problem. They could go to Hohoe and this game can end, goalless.
Shaban, when I visited Hohoe for that clash against Kotoko, some of the fans told me that they have 3 missions in the Ghana Premier League. First is to beat Heart of Lions. Second, to defeat Kotoko and Heartofok. They've already drawn with Heart of Lions. They've beaten Kotoko, and they are coming up against the Heartofok side that are also coming off of the back of a defeat against Mediema. How would this one go?
Well, so 2 struggling sides. Heartofok, the last 5 away matches are winless. They've drawn 3, they've lost twice. The defeat against Mediema was the second one. The first one was against Karela United. Then 3 draws, Sway Draw Blacks, Young Apostles, and then against Ediana FC. But if you look at the opponent, for instance, Sway Draw Blacks and Ediana, they are a difficult side, so picking points against them at home is positive. But let's look at Hohoe United. This season, 8 matches at home, just 3 wins. That's a bad record. And they've managed to draw 4 of the fixtures. They've lost twice to Gold Stars and Ediana FC. And if you look at the matches that they've failed to score a goal, you see that they lose that fixture or they draw. And that is one against Heart of Lions. It was the only fixture that Hohoe United failed to score, and they did not lose that fixture. And so that's a big problem for them. A side that is a newly promoted team, you need to up your game at home, because out of the 17 home games you are playing, you need about 10 of the wins to survive. And if you fail to win those fixtures, it is really going to affect you. Now, if you look at the position of Hohoe United now, Mutala Yakubu, this is one of the fixtures that they will need to survive, because with these 3 points, it is going to add up a lot to their team's progress. Now, there's something I've observed. You know, they are one of the struggling sides, and so Mutala, they are making a lot of quick transitions, and that is bringing in some players. And so we are going to see William Ojo, Lawson Bekwi signed for them. He is a former Dreams FC striker, and we are going to see him in the squad. But they are going to go with the 2 pivots, John Alosode and Osei Senior. Osei Senior has 2 Man of the Match awards, and so that is also going to block Hartlefolk from penetrating into their defense. And you know, Hartlefolk is the best defensive side, Mutala, but in terms of attack, that is where they find it difficult to play. And so with Hamza Issa, Frank Ebura started against Mediama Sporting Club. Mauli Wayo also started against Mediama Sporting Club. And we have William Ojo, Daniel Osafo. And Osafo really worked so hard in the Matchday 1 game against Hartlefolk. He created a lot of decent chances. But I'm looking at how the ball is going to be played in the half of Hoho United, because they are likely to go with the 1 top, where William Ojo and then the 2 wingers will be in. Then Safiano Osman will be playing behind Lawson Bekwi. He missed a penalty against the last home game they played and against Heart of Lions. Psychologically and mentally, I want to see how Safiano Osman is going to bounce back. But Mutala, one key thing, for the very first time, Hoho are going to play a league game without their head coach. And I'm looking at how
Tijani Bashir.
Yes, Tijani Bashir. They have a new coach, but he will take charge after the Hartlefolk game. That's by Monday. He's expected to start work. He's a Turkish gaffer. We'll talk more about him. But if you look at how he looks like, psychologically, Hoho United are down. But I tell you, if they fail to score a goal in this game, they are going to go down. And that is also going to affect them in staying. The
people of Hoho are interested in Ghana Premier League, and if you go to Hoho, you find out why they want the club to stay, because it's one of the pride of the Volta region at the moment. But at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium, Asante Kotoko, they would be back in action after losing to Swedru All Blacks. This time they are playing Brekuma Chelsea. Coach, your very good friend Karim Zito is also the head coach of Asante Kotoko. Now, at a point, results were not going well. And he talked about the fact that he had about 13 players being injured. Is that really an excuse for any coach? Because
yes,
the supporters were not buying that at all.
Your key players are in your how can you play? And the benching is not good. It doesn't have the bench. Football, the reason why Midiama is leading the table, their bench can be any other team starting 11.
Yeah, they have a lot of squad depth.
Yes. So if you don't have it and the regular players are injured, how can you play? The player you manage to get some draw, you lose some matches until they recover. You
have been in Kumasi, you've been closer to Kotoko. Do you think Karim Zito has done well with all the pressure in Kumasi and from Kotoko faithfuls?
You know, he's a mature coach, got experience. So definitely when it happens like this, you have to use your maturity and calm things down. Close your ears, do the job. When the wounds start coming, they will forget about everything. That's exactly what he's doing, you know.
And your other friend, Samuel Bodu, won the league with Hartlefolk, went to Brecum Chelsea. Everyone was expecting big things. Things are just not going well for him this season.
Normally, it happens in football. They've sold most of their players and they don't replace them with the quality that they sold. So definitely, you will face this problem.
And it comes back to the structures again.
Yes, the structures are not working.
You're selling players, but you're not bringing enough in. Okay, and that is a massive problem. But Felix, Karim Zito lost against Swedru All Blacks. Kotoko have been good at the Barbara Sports Stadium, no doubt. It's away games that they've been found wanting. But this time, they have to start the second round on a good note. Brecum Chelsea are struggling.
And they are not winning away games. They haven't won a game away in the league this season. The last time they won away game was in March of 28 when they won 2-1 against Midiama at the TNA Park. So it's been a very tough season for them. Where they are on the log too, it's not a very pleasant, sight for the coach as well, a former winner of the league. But for Kotoko, I think that one of the major problems they face this season has to be injury. But aside injury too, the number of matches they've played. I quite remember in November alone, they had to play 7 matches in a month.
Yeah.
And that could be huge on any football club in the world. And I think that the supporters need to understand that sometimes when there is so much games, and I think that the FA also needs to really come to the aid of not just Kotoko, because I was thinking that at least maybe a week break after the first round would have helped all the teams. But we are immediately continuing. But you can also fault the handlers of the league because we've had a very packed football season way back from COVID time. This time around, there is qualifiers for World Cup, qualifiers for AFCON, there's World Cup itself, there's MTN FA Cup. So the football calendar in general has been very, very packed. So coaches have a very difficult job to get the players back after every match week. But this is the game I'm expecting Kumasi Asante Kotoko to win.
This is actually a game Kotoko cannot afford to drop points after that defeat to All Blacks. If they want to catch up with the likes of Bediema, they should win. What does history say about this fixture?
Well, Butala, first let's do some calculation before we look at these statistics. Bekum Chelsea have played 9 away matches, and so 3-9-27, right? And so with 3-9-27, Bekum Chelsea have picked only 2 points out of a possible 27 away points, missing out 25 points, and that is why they find themselves in the relegation zone. And so Felix Roma confirmed Chelsea are yet to pick away victory, and that if you can't afford to go 9 games away without picking a win, losing a total of 7 out of the 9 games, missing out 25 points. Now, you are going to face a side that in the last 19 away games, home games, they are unbeaten. They've won 15 actually, and then they've drawn 4. Now, we have 2 best away sides in the Ghana Premier League this season. That is Asante Kotoko, Vision FC. They have all gone 19 games at home unbeaten. And then Kotoko tops with 15 wins, 4 draws. Vision FC second with 12 wins, 7 draws. And that makes Kotoko very dominant playing at the Babayara Sports Stadium. Again, if you look at the history, the Bekum Chelsea away performance, it favors Kotoko. If you look at history, it favors Kotoko. Let's look at the last 5 matches between both sides. And it also favors Kotoko. Once, Bekum Chelsea have won once in the last 5 home games of Asante Kotoko. And that was when Bekum Chelsea had the best of squad. And so beating Kotoko at their venue, you need quality to beat them. You just can't go there with this struggling mentality to go and pick that points. But I expect a lot from them. And so the last 5, 2-0, Bekum Chelsea won 2021, 22-1-0, Kotoko 2-1, 1-0, 1-0. In the last 5 matches, Kotoko have kept 3 clean sheets in their matches, losing 1 and winning 2-1 in one of the fixtures. And Kotoko still dominant at home. But the biggest challenge of Bekum Chelsea is actually their attack as well. But then in terms of defense, it looks like they've managed to solve part of the problems, and that is why Edwin Kufuor-Samoa is back in the squad. Japan would be playing against his former club. Seydou Mohamed will be in the squad, and Benjamin Abeidu, one of the experienced players in the Ghana Premier League, is also going to feature for them. And it looks like in the second round, Chelsea are going to go with 2 pivots and make sure that they have their wingers dropping to join the midfield and make it so packed. And that is where Kotoko would have to be very careful. Kwesi Solo to Baduri, the number 10.
I think he's one of the best youngsters.
Yes, the DM. No, he's one of the outstanding
quality
DMs.
player by all
very
standards.
good player. One of the quality DMs in the Ghana Premier League. He is going to pair with Augustin Hene. He's also back in the squad. So we have 2 pivots playing against Kotoko. Then Prince Anani, who is a winger, and then Vincent Klu Eje, who is a midfielder, will be dropping to the midfield. And so when Bekum Chelsea are attacking, it will be 4 attackers joining with 2 DMs. And when Bekum Chelsea are defending, we have 3 midfielders, Kwesi Solo to Baduri, Augustin Hene, and Vincent Kulu Eje. And then Marvin Owusu, Seydou Abubakar, and Prince Anani will join the attack, and it will be 4-3-3. However, it depends on whatever they want to achieve. It could be 4-4-2, playing against their opponent. But Kotoko, a dominant side, they are free scoring side. In the records of the Premier League this season, after the first round, Kotoko have netted 24 goals and the best side in terms of goal scoring in Ghana Premier League. So you have to be careful with the attackers. Peter Amiduakwa, he has 7 assists to his credit. And then Adam Inusa, I've seen Saka Dauda back. He played in the FA Cup.
Yeah,
and possibly he is also bouncing back. But Inusa has been consistent with performance. And then we have Lord Hilary Adabo. Adabo would have to work hard because Prince Bedu is at Kotoko now, and so there will be a lot of competition at the DM. Seth Kojo and Hubert Jehu, one of the good passers of the ball, Hubert Jehu. But I want to see how Bekum Chelsea will dominate the Kotoko defense. Patrick Esiedu, Musa Hamzata, Samba Onel Lodamwa, and Seydou. Yes, he scored 2 goals for them. But that consistency, Prince Anani has the strength. You see the challenges of Bekum Chelsea, in the absence of Mizak Efuye, and then their striker Steven Amankona, they've actually not gotten the perfect replacement for them. They have to improvise, manage to play. And in the course of improvising, you are playing against all the teams who have one of the best defense. Look, if you are going to do analysis of all the 18 Premier League teams, they have at least one of their best players being a defender. It means that all the teams have strengthened their defense. And so you need clinical finishers to be able to break through opponent defense.
Well, let's see about that. I'm not sure 11 Wonders fans will be happy with you if you say everything has strengthened their defense. But let's move on and do other fixtures. We know that, Coach, your former club, Nations FC, they will be traveling to Swedro. Ever since you left, I know you've been monitoring them, you've been monitoring their progress so far. Do you think they've developed with where you left them and what you've seen so far?
They've changed their style of play. You know, initially when I was there, we do keep the ball. We possess a lot when the opening comes, but now they play the direct football. And the materials there cannot play that. They are not strong enough. We don't have bulky players who can play that type of football. So definitely they will struggle.
Well, but you've seen All Blacks as well. Ahmed Fatih, their head coach. Are they playing some exciting football?
Yes, they are not playing bad. They have a very good striker in the form of
Rudolph. How good is he? Because you picked him as part of the squad for that game against South Africa.
He have the pace and he's strong on the ball and he have an eye for goals. So such a player, when playing with him, very difficult to mark him. He have the pace, he can outrun you any moment. And when he get there, he either shoot or place the ball. You know, it's a very good striker.
So that is All Blacks Nations FC. There's Adriana against Karela. Towards the tail end of the first round, Felix, it looks like Adriana were behaving like chameleons. That defeat to Vision FC might have hurt them well because it would have closed the gap on Midiema. This time they are coming up against Karela, who also do not have Bless Eggy, but they are very good and they can frustrate any team.
Well, I think that sometimes, you know, when you are winning matches and you are somewhere around the top, complacency comes in. And I think that in their game against Vision, complacency setting, I'll be surprised to see them lose a game again in the second round at home. I think they will do better. They will learn from the Vision mistakes and win this particular one. We are at the business end of the season where if you want to win the league, you have to win your home games and they don't want to drop points. I've already said that they are my title favorites. I believe any team that will finish above Adriana will win the league. Now, the Domar Park, the Nana Ajman Park is buzzing. A lot of fans are going. They are traveling with their fans. They are winning games, and they have one of the best squad. Coach earlier on spoke about the moves and Yellow Medium having a very good bench. You can equally talk same about Adriana as well. And I believe that this is a game that they will surely go ahead and pick the maximum point.
Second round, Adriana would have to go all out, especially against clubs like Karela. They need to pick the point because that defeat to Vision didn't go down well with the people of Joma.
Mutala, it's not going to be easy. Karela in their last 2 away matches are unbeaten. They've managed to draw the games. And for Adriana FC, they've lost 1. The last 4 home matches, they've drawn 2, they've lost 1, they've won 1. And so it's not going well for them. Hartlepool have picked a point, Midiama have picked a point, Basaka Ulisas have picked a point. Then Vision FC eventually went to pick their first win. And look, let's do the analysis between Vision and Karela United. Vision, proud to their match against Adriana FC, were winless away, in fact. And proud to that, Vision FC have only won just 2 away matches since they made their debut in September 2024. Again, technically, they even won just 1. One of the points were awarded out of the Satraman issues. And so technically, just 1 win in their history, but they managed to beat Adriana FC. Now, Karela is one of the sides that are really good in terms of the flanks, and that is where Adriana gets a lot of problem because Adriana also adopts the wing backs. Remember, Adumakun, that's why he has 5 assists to his credit. He wants to set forward. Seydou Abubakar wants to set forward, and it puts pressure on the defense of Adriana FC. And that is why I'm sure they are working on getting Samuel Osei-Kuffour to complement their defensive work. But per what we have on paper, if Karela goes to Doma again to pick a point, I will never be surprised.
Felix, when I was leaving Takwa on Sunday, one of the messages the fans gave me was that tell the rest of the Premier League clubs that we are not losing any game in Takwa.
Yes, and they
are coming up against young apostles.
Oh, of course. They have the players, they have the technical team as well to do that. And I believe that if you look at Mediama, what they've done quite well is the fact that they are making the Takwa TNA Park a fortress. And when it comes to matches against the title contenders, they are doing quite well. They are beating the other title contenders. They are picking points away from their home. Yesterday, I watched highlights of their FA Cup game against the league champion, Mbini Gold Stars. They went ahead and won the game. And I look at Mediama. I have covered most of their game this season. Any squad that comes in, they are good to go. I look at their midfield, and I think it is the best in the league. Karim, Fuzi Taylor, you look at Kevin Nkrumah. This is a
Prince
very
Owusu was on the bench against Hartlepool. I didn't even notice until after the first half.
You understand? They have a very solid team, and they have a lot of experience as well. This is a game I'm expecting them to win. For now, they are the one leading the pack, and I just hope that as you progress into the cup game, sometimes it can also affect your league matches, but they have a squad to manage both competition.
Then there's Bechem United against BBN Gold Stars. Coach, your former club, you are regarded as one of the best coaches in the history of Bechem United. What is happening to them? Ever since you left, it's not been that same Bechem United who always challenge for the title. What is really happening?
No, they don't buy players. They rely on the second division, first division players to develop them and play. But when you want to still stay by that principle, you have a coach who's a developer. If you don't get it, it won't work for you. They don't buy players. We go to the second division, coach, first division, and we pick players, and we develop them to play.
But that was a lot of work for you because you are coaching and you are developing players as well.
You do. That's the nature of our job. If you want to be a good coach, you have to know both the development and the tactical play. So we were doing that. That's why I became about. When I left, they couldn't get anybody to continue that trend. And they sold some of the players too, and they couldn't get a replacement. That the team is going down, continue going down.
One of their best players, Augustine Okra, has been around for some time. But he's beginning to lose steam at a point. Do you think it's...
Okra,
yeah.
You have to know how to use him. When he was in Kotoko, he was not playing. When he came to Bechem United, he won the Goal King race. He
I remember.
He came. I assigned him a different role. He's very fast. He has the target. And when you allow him to go and play the midfield and tackle, you get tired when you give him that. He cannot run and he cannot shoot because no, he's aging. So I give him a free role. The young one, work for him. He will score for you to get winning bonus. So they work for him. And they understood me.
He will score for you to get the winning bonus.
Initially, they will tell him, client doesn't tackle. I say, look, work for him. He will score. When he come and work, they give you you cannot score. So work for him to score. They understood. And they were working for him and he was scoring.
It's like Pep Guardiola talking about...
I wanted to ask Coach, talk about development. You've been in Bechem for some time. Who do you think was the best player you developed in Bechem?
I would say Clinton Dodo is one of them.
Clinton Dodo.
Yes.
Okay. We didn't know if he was a right back or a wing back because
that was the confusion
everywhere.
He was a winger, right winger. But I turned him to be a wing back.
Oh, okay.
Got the system we play. We were playing 3 back.
Okay.
And you have to get a wing back who is fast, can go up and down without getting tired. So I brought him to the wing back. He was a natural winger. I brought him to the wing back.
There are fears that they could go down. They are coming up against BBN Gold Stars, Shaman. Gold Stars are also aiming for the title. Kwesi has told me several times, the CEO of Gold Stars, was he a bit defend the title way?
It will be interesting. We'll look at the history of defending league titles, and so we'll come there and see if it is possible. But I want to talk about Coach Kasim Miglokansi. I remember in 2020-21 when Kweku Danso was in charge of Bechem in the first round. Eventually, after Matchday 17, he was asked to step aside for Kasim Migl to take over. I remember that season, Bechem were doing so well, and then Kasim Migl started doing well when he started introducing Clinton Dodo, and I remember he was a student then. Emmanuel no, Clinton Dodo, Hafiz Winter Konkoni, Augustine Okra, Dari Aziz Haruna, Abdullahi Idrisu, the goalkeeper, Aaron Essel. So if you want to talk about Seth Kojo, if you want to, and then there's Francis Aqua, who is Kevin. So we can talk about 30 players key players that have passed through Coach Kasim Mingilo-Kansi.
I think he had a striker
even
for
someone
Abono,
like
if I'm not mistaken.
Kofi Agbesime, and then someone like Sekufo. I remember
that was a solid
days,
squad. Yeah.
The two centre backs playing against them was difficult. And so, if you want to talk about Coach Kasim Mingilo-Kansi developing talent at Bechem, I think he's managed to bring up about 30 key players, and today he will be proud of himself. But this time, Bechem are stragglers at home, away. Nana Fosuji Abo is no more a fortress. I remember then times, Felix Romayu would testify 40 matches, 30 matches, unbeaten at the Nana Fosuji Abo. But goal stars, yes. But honestly speaking, if Bechem should lose this fixture, then the pressure on avoiding relegation will now be going up, and it's going to be a big challenge. They need these points, and goal stars are not good travelers. Yes, once in a while they give you a win. The last away game against 11 Wonders, they won, but I will not use that to analyze this fixture against Bechem. The Lions of August Nokra, and one of the key players, coach even used in the Black Galaxies squad, that's Yimanol Aban. He's also, and then Darwin Yeboah. Darwin Yeboah is a good player. Look, they have the three top strikers. They have three, Darwin Yeboah, Yimanol Aban, against Nokra. And I still don't understand why Bechem cannot score goals and win a fixture. But we hope that they bounce back at a point.
Well, let's see what will happen with Bechem United. They will be at home against BBN Gold Stars. But then there is a Dreams FC against Heart of Lions. At a point, Felix Romack told me that Dreams FC would find their way back. They will find their feet. It is beginning to materialize under Wilfred Dormer. They are playing a Heart of Lions side that had gone about 5-6 games without a win until their FA Cup win against Nagot FCE yesterday. It looks like Dreams would fancy their chances.
Yeah, and the reason why I said that was the fact that they had a very experienced manager in, Winfred Kobna. But then again, the key factor was Fifi Parker Hansen, a very excellent coach who had a very good season with Golden Kicks, last season, looking at their run to the FA Cup final. So I knew very well that Dreams FC will start picking points. And also, when they had a stable home, this time around, they've lost just, I think, a game in their last 7 at home when they lost against Red Row or Blacks. I don't know what's happened to Bashir Aford. In 8 away games, they are yet to win a game. The last time was when they beat 11 Wonders. It's going to be very difficult for them, but I feel, Dreams FC would pick up the maximum points in this one.
Shaban, the last time we were here, we had Nana Kokwajiman with us. He said they were going to draw or win against Indiana. They went to win that game. They are coming up against Samatex in Setri.
Well, Samatex in their last 16 matches under Coach Christopher Nin, they are unbeaten at home. And that makes it more difficult for Vision FC. But of course, they've managed to pick very key important points. That's against Indiana. But Indiana are stragglers. And Samatex are a good side at home. The last home game, they beat Young Apostles 2-0. And they've been very, very consistent at home. And that's where it will be a problem. Maybe Nana Kukwajima could ride on their last away game to go and surprise Samatex. But it doesn't look possible.
Big game, Samatex also against Vision FC is one of the games in Matchday 18. So we are done with the games. We'll be doing the prediction shortly, but let's go through some transfers because the window is wide open. I remember this face, a Turkish manager who was with the Omina Sharks at a point. Who is he? Shaban, tell us.
Well, this is Kasim Gokeldes, the namesake, and interestingly, he's managed King Faisal. Last season, he was in Ghana with Rain Masters. And currently, he's in Hohoi to take over as the head coach of Hohoi United. And he will start work on Monday after their game against Heart.
So he will not be on the bench against Heart?
No, he's just
on Saturday.
No, he will not be on the bench. And so Kasim Gokeldes is taking over as head coach. And if you see him, we are going to have 4 foreigners as coaches in the Ghana Premier League. We started with 2. That was Ahmed Fatih of Swede Royal Blacks, Sioba Arisika, the Romanian international at Indiana FC. Then eventually we added Marcus, who signed for Gold Stars, and now we have Kasim Gokeldes taking over Hohoi United. But let's do more of the transfer stories. We have some interesting transfers. But one of the transfer news that is surprising to a lot of people is that Ronald Augustine Frimpong, and he's a former Gold Stars RTU attacker. He plays as a winger. Interestingly, Nations FC Karela, and at a point he was training with Karela United, but as we speak now, FC Ashanti Gold have secured his signature in the Division 1 till the end of the season. telling him that the project they have in the Division 1 is bigger than the Karela United and Nations.
You know how strong that promise is. You will never understand until you're a player because it's a big promise there. So Ronald Frimpong was part of the UDS team that won the University Football Championship in China recently. He was with Gold Stars. Now he has departed.
Mutala, this is Steven Dior, and on history, he's the last player to score an away goal for Nswatreman FC before their issues and before their exit in the Ghana Premier League. And before the start of the season, Hartlepool were chasing. He's a very clinical winger, has the pace, and then currently he traveled outside. Eventually, when he parted ways with the club, Hoho United picked him up at the border. He did not even come to Accra, and currently he's signed for Hoho United. And so Steven Dior, a new winger, so he's going to compete with Sena Ati, William Odro at one position. And so that's it. But you see, the transfer window ends next week, that's Thursday, and so we'll have more time to look at some of the deals that are expected to happen. We'll do that here before 11:59 p.m.
Sure, we would actually do that. You can trust us here on the GPL Build-Up Show to bring you more transfers. But it's time we do the prediction, and it's my favorite part of the show because this is where I put these guys on the spot. And if teams do not win, then they hold them accountable. So, Coach, you are new here. It's something that we do all the time. If I mention the fixture, you just mention the team that would win. Well, so I'll start with you, Shaban. 11 wonders, Baseke Holy Stars.
Baseke Holy Stars win.
Hoho United, Hartlepool Felix.
1-0 win for Hartlepool.
Shouldn't be a vaccine. Asante Kotoko Brekum Chelsea coach.
Kotoko.
Ediana FC, Karela United, Shaban.
Ediana FC win.
Then there's Mediama against Young Apostles, Felix.
I'm going for a 2-0 win for Mediama.
Coach, it looks like the gods are listening to you. Bechem United, Gold Stars.
Bechem United.
Bechem United. Okay, so Dreams FC against Heart of Lions.
Heart of Lions are going to go 8 games without a win. Dreams FC.
Dreams FC. Then there is Swedro All Blacks against Nations FC.
Oh.
No, coach.
Okay.
Swedro All Blacks, Nations FC.
The better side will win.
The better side will win. Felix, Samatex against Vision FC.
Samatex to win at the Centurion.
Oh, okay. So,
do you understand the better side will win?
Of course, the better side will win.
Coach is telling us that Nations cannot win. But he's hopeful.
I believe Straight Rollbacks will add another Kumasi team to their feast.
Okay, so I have a message from Swedro All Blacks fan here. He says, send my greetings to Mo Shaban and Coach Kasim Mengel. Team of the moment, Uzi Oza, Operation Top 4. You are trying to escape relegation. I'm talking about Operation Top 4. So that is it. Coach, I mean, it's a pleasure having you here. We know that the Black Galaxies will soon resume camp. When are we expected to see players back in camp for the CHAN qualifiers? And when is the CHAN qualifiers coming up?
I'm yet to be giving that information. So I think by next month, we have all that information.
Okay, but how is the monitoring process going at the moment? Because it's not easy. You have to tour the entire... I see you at almost every venue. You sit there quietly. Now we should players, you know.
That's the nature of my job. I need to go around, identify the present one I'm using, and those are penciled down to watch them. I know some of them too will be leaving. I have to get replacement in the team. So you have to make provision for all this.
All right.
And the current players, some of them are leaving. I know some of them will leave, so I have to get replacement for them.
Felix, Matchday 18, New Year. I mean, we are starting again. All the teams fired up for this one.
I think we've had a well-organized league this season than last season. Most of the challenges we face in our league has always come at the end of the second round, or when we get into the second round, because the stakes are high. Teams want to survive relegation, others want to win the league. So we are just, pleading to all the teams that they should be very, very professional in the way they play and then the way they manage their teams. You want to have a very fine season like we've had in the first round. Let's get a worthy winner, and those that get relegated, they can go back and do their thing too. So I'm just calling for us to have a very good season. I'm saying this because of what happened last season, at the tail end of last season, you know, the pole issue, the walk away by Nations FC in the Holy Stars game. We don't want to see that in the second round.
Well, it has been a good one here on TV3. The last 3 champions of the Ghana Premier League have all come from the Western region. Mediema in 2022-2023, Samatex in 2023-2024, and the current champions are BBN Gold Stars. 3 live games on TV3 and on your TV. Tomorrow, we are starting our coverage with 11 Wonders against Baseke Holy Stars at 3:30. Then on Saturday, it's Oho United against Heart of Folk. It will be live on this channel as well. And Asante Kotoko will also take on Brekum Chelsea. Thanks to this gentleman, Coach Kasimingo. It's always a pleasure to have you for you sharing your knowledge with us. You are such an institution as far as coaching is concerned. And to my big brother, Felix Romack, always a pleasure to have you. And my partner in crime, the resident analyst, the man who plays with numbers, Mohamed Shaban as well. But let me take this opportunity to also say a happy birthday to Robert Tete Coleman, the CEO of Wembley Sports Construction. He is known as the king of AstroTurfs because all the good AstroTurfs in this country is done by Robert Tete Coleman. You are such an incredible man. May the good Lord continue to bless you. My name is Mutale Akubu. This has been the GPLBuild show here on TV3. Till we meet again, it's au revoir. Bye-bye.